Well, how's it going today, folks? I'm Braap and welcome back to the Braap Shack. Today we're working on a familiar machine. Let's take a peek. You may recognize this machine from a couple videos earlier this year. It's already been branded. We put a brace kit on it, and then it came in and been rolled, and we kind of patched up the gauge pod and all that jazz, and straightened out the back end, which is refuculated, but it was straight. But this time, at no direct fault of the owner, she's fucked. There's a piece of it. Sole side split open. Bumper's fucked. Nose is all fucked. Vent's fucked. A-arm's bent. So, the machine was being ridden by somebody other than the owner, and they apparently introduced it to a street sign or something of the such. Surprisingly, there's no damage to the hood, other than somehow that vent cover broke, and there's this tiny little crack, which we may drill a little hole at the end of that crack just to stop it from progressing any. But the owner is on his way here right now to drop off the nose piece, belly, fucking whatever the fuck you want to call it, and that piece. We already have some backwoods BMP or something bumpers here. This front bumper, the website basically says that if you want to run a skid plate, you have to install the bumper differently. So I'm guessing they mean you gotta cut a hole, because these two lower holes down there, they go on top of the belly and they tag in to these two rivets from underneath. So with the skid plate on, you can't see those rivets from underneath. So we'll see. Oh, parts are here. Okay, so there's our front bumper, rear bumper. They're not quite the right orange. In fact, on this camera they look yellow, but they are in fact orange. They're not the right orange, but they're not that yellow either. Here we have the upper nose piece. We have the nose cone, as fucking BRP calls it on the tag. So we gotta drill out and remove skid plate. I guess we don't really gotta remove it, but we gotta remove all these front rivets, and at least push it down. Then we gotta get to all of these black rivets right there and right there and all over. Yeah, and we gotta get this nose cone off. So I'm gonna set you up and we're gonna fucking get to it. Sometimes you gotta hold the top side of them or the back side, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The side you're not drilling. Oh yeah, you gotta pull the fucking top shock mount. Well then. Okay. There we go. We've spun around. We're now holding the weight off of the skis via chain come along and a sketchy little quadrupled up strap. So now we can pull off these shock bolts. Okay, so now so you can get a better look. It tags in one rivet there, one there, two there, two on the bottom on each side, another two, one, same one up and behind the shock. So now that bumper will install all of these rivets except these two, and when everything's back assembled, we'll drill those two straight through the nose cone and through the belly pan, and it's not the easier way. The easier way, they said, just install, if those rivets are already installed and you don't want to pull your belly pan to pull those rivets to put the bumper on, you can just go right in front of it, and that will cause the bumper to just sit up just a hair. But we'll just go ahead and we'll tag it right into the bulkhead. We got to straighten this side a little bit. See how it's bent here, nice and flat here. But that's no big deal. And now you can get a better look at the crooked A-arm. This side's perfectly straight, that side's not. So, give me a quick minute here. I think we're gonna have to pull the upper A-arm and the shock in order to get these. I don't know. We'll get what we can and we'll see what happens, but Well, fuck, I guess I gotta put one in by hand. Jesus Christ. Okay, so now, like I was saying, we'll drill through these top two, and right there, and right there, straight through the belly pan and everything, and that's what the bumper will attach to. Okay, so, oh, well, you guys got a low battery already, fuck's sakes. That hole ain't around. That bar is. So it tells you to make a little cut here, and a little cut here, and to gouge it on the back side. But that don't make any fucking sense. So I've got an 1 1/8 hole saw, and we're gonna line it up right there, and we're gonna run it in reverse very fucking carefully. I cannot stress that enough. Very fucking carefully, because if you aren't holding it steady without something for the center to grab onto, it's gonna want to walk like this, and it's gonna want to fucking scratch all the way across your brand new shit. So very fucking carefully. Watch, I'll show you what not to do, okay? Sorry, Andrew. There, perfect. Okay, same thing on the other side. Now, should fit. Oh yeah! Fucking A, boys! Okay, so now you just gotta clean up what you just made it look all rough a little bit here. You can grab some stuff and pull on some stuff and, you know, pull out your razor blade and whatnot. And make it look like you give a fuck. You know, at least a little bit. She's tight with that belly pan on. It says it should go. The fucking website and the instructions say that this is how she goes. Oh. You weren't even looking. We're having a hard time getting these upper bolts lined up here. Bolts are a little short for this thick ass bumper. So we're trading 2 of these for 2 of these. Same style bolt, same grade, a little bit longer. There's the tops. Now it looks like we gotta go down just a bit in order to line up these lowers. Okay, so I did a little bit of shit there, fucking around off camera. I threw in the exhaust. I did do a quick pan around there of the rivets on the new nose cone. This is the upper nose cone. These rubber inserts were from the original, and I threw on the belt cover. Let's finish throwing the front end together. And then all we gotta do is throw on this bumper. Oh yeah, I straightened this out again, but this time you can't see fuck all. I threw in a piece of 1/8 inch flat bar in behind it. That little piece there, that cross piece, needs to be replaced. And this light, all the mounts are fucked except for this one. So it's got a little tiny screw on either side with an 8mm nut and a washer on the back holding it on. That snow flap is fucked, so we shortened it so it would stop. It just it's been creased so hard that it just instantly goes in the track, and then it gets pulled out the back or pushed out the back, and it bends up that back piece again over and over again. So we shortened it up. Andrew's gonna have to get a new snow flap, new light housing, and new support there. But there's a couple things I want to do to this before we put it back on. Obviously this broken screen I want to get rid of, but there's this little crack I don't know if you really see it, but it comes right back to about here. I want to put a 16th inch hole at the end of that crack so it doesn't continue. I've come to the conclusion that this sled needs some signature Braap shack stitches. So it's going to get one stitch right there and one stitch right over here. Fucking mint. Oh. So, to put this on, you gotta take off your factory bumper. So you'll already have these two holes with nothing in them. Okay, that's what you're gonna use for this one and this one. All the rest of these, you drill them out and you throw a 3/16 rivet in there.